by AT Uverse TV.
The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Fox. We are the West.
The Oakland A's struck back in Game 2 yesterday, knotting the series at 1 game apiece. Your Rangers continue to look for the spark to ignite a stalled offense, and Ian Kinsler's looking to provide it. Leading off and leading by example, Kinsler will spearhead the Rangers' attack in Game 3 of this 4-game set against the A's next. It is a cloudy and breezy night here in North Texas, Rangers Ballpark, where the Rangers hope to clear things up a bit with another win over the Oakland A's. And welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Green and Steve Busby. Glad he joined us tonight. This is game number 3 of this 4-game set. Rangers won the first game, Oakland won last night, and now the Rangers look to bounce back and make it 2 out of 3 with 1 game remaining. They'll rely an awful lot on the veterans, and we know the struggles they've had, but the veterans need to step up, and one of those guys that has done so well in the past, Ian Kinsler.
Yeah, Buzz, and I think sometimes it's important to see how a team plays for an extended period of time without somebody to realize how important he is to the ball club and to the lineup, and that's certainly the case with Ian. Without him in the lineup, the team had a hard time scoring. Now that he's back, they have a better chance to score. Base hit to right field, takes the extra base. Always aggressive on the bases. Base hit to the outfield, gets a good jump at third base, not afraid of a little collision at the plate, scores a big run for the Rangers. He makes things happen both defensively, on the bases, and with the bat, and the Rangers just aren't the same team without him in the lineup.
Well, good to have Ian back, and he has now his Keystone combination mate back in the lineup, and that is Elvis Andrews. So the two of them, along with the rest of the group, and Justin Graham on the hill tonight, taking on the Oakland A's. Will be back with the starting lineups in the first pitch right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Northwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Come join the red, white, and U celebration. Enjoy great savings on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T UVerse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. And by Progressive. Visit Progressive.com today. Well, the threat of rain seems to be diminishing as we go on in the evening here in Arlington. The Rangers taking the field. And before we get underway, let's head down to the field where Allie Lucia is standing by. Allie?
Thanks, Buzz. You talked about Ian Kinsler batting first in the lineup. Well, I asked Wash about them trying to find some consistency. They've had 12 different starting lineups in the last 13 games, and he said they're just trying to find something that works.
Doesn't matter what you're doing, consistent on the pitching side, consistent on the offensive side, consistent on the defensive side, consistency on the base paths. That's what the game of baseball is totally about. So we certainly need to get to that point where we can get back to being consistent. But, it's a long season. It's 162 games, and we're going to grind, and we'll get it right.
That's tonight's Geico quote of the day. Nelly Cruz batting third in the lineup. Last night it was A.J. Brzezinski. The night before it was Ian Kinsler. So, Buzz, they're just trying to find something that sticks.
All right, Allie, thank you. Yeah, they will. Ron said the consistency you want to get sometimes is elusive for a little while. Well, Justin Grimm trying to get that consistency going. Here's the Oakland batting order he will face tonight. Chris Young leads things off. He's in center field. Jed Lowry's the shortstop. Batting third, DHing Yoenis Cespedes. Brandon Moss cleans things up. The third baseman is Josh Donaldson. Seth Smith in left field. Josh Reddick in right, bats seventh. Derek Norris is behind the plate. And the second baseman, Eric Sogard, bats ninth.
And our Budweiser scouting report for Justin Grimm. 5-5. His ERA has gone up pretty dramatically in his last three starts to 5.59. In fact, it's 11.40 in his last three starts. Prior to that, he was throwing pretty well. Career high 7 2/3 in his last start against Toronto. But in that start, he ended up giving 10 hits and 7 runs, a couple of home runs. Longevity was good, but a little too many runs, Buzz.
Yep. Chris Young fouling off the first pitch, and there were some interesting comments that came from Justin Grimm, Tom, after that ball game. Chopper hit out to short, and Elvis gets a nice dig on. That is out number one, so on a couple of pitches, Justin Grimm gets his first out. We'll take a look at the Ranger defense tonight, brought to you by Skag. David Murphy in left, Leonis Martin in center, Nelson Cruz is in right. Robinson Chirinos gets the start at first. Ian Kinsler and Elvis Andrus up the middle. Adrian Beltre at third. A.J. Brzezinski behind the plate. Justin Grimm on the hill. The umpiring crew tonight looks like this. Doug Eddings calling the balls and strikes. Jordan Baker at first. The crew chief, Angel Hernandez, is at second. And Paul Nart is down at third. No one out in the early going here. And Jed Lowry takes outside for ball one. Lowry at 293. He has been in a bit of a downturn for the last 10 days or so for Oakland. Takes that pitch low, and it's 2-0. But, Tom, what Justin Grimm was talking about was how he can slow the game down mentally for himself. And he said that's, for him, the toughest adjustment that he's had to make coming to the big leagues.
Well, you get your adrenaline pumping out there, and I guess it's hard to do that.
Does that ring a bell for you? Or did you have to find a way to slow the game down a little bit?
Yeah, I never even thought about it too much until after it was too late. But yeah, when you're able to do that, it sure is a lot easier.
Adrian Beltre slowing down that one-hop shot off the bat of Jed Lowry and across the diamond for out number 2.
Yeah, I wish someone had talked to me more about that, because you think back to the times when you were playing well, and that's pretty much what you did. You had slowed down and relaxed, and when you were struggling, you were a little bit hyper, probably moving around too much in the batter's box, swinging at too many pitches out of the strike zone, trying to make something happen. And sometimes all it is taking a deep breath and relaxing. I can remember feeling that way in a game and not being able to stop it. Right, hyper, swung at a bad pitch, and it was at the old ballpark. There's probably 4,000 people there, so you could hear everything they said. And some guy from the stands yelled out, "Relax! It's just a game. It's not. Just relax." And I heard him, and he said, "You know what? You're right." And So I tried to take a deep breath and relax, and I guess the point is, even a fan could notice it sometimes.
Sure, sure. Yoenis Cespedes in a bit of a downturn, also 0 for his last 9, and that's news when he does that against the Rangers, because he came into this series hitting well over 325 against Texas pitching. They've done a good job of handcuffing him here in the first couple of games of this series. 1-2 now the count from Justin Grimm.
Well, watching Justin's delivery right now, does it look to you like it's a little slower than it was in the last game? Has he slowed it down a little bit?
You know, I don't think he was talking about slowing. We'll talk about that the next time he's out there in the second inning. But it's a very good 1-2-3 first. As the A's are down, the Rangers coming up bottom of the first. No score. A's out quickly in the top of the first. Now the Rangers starting lineup, and it's delivered by DeMontron RV. Ian Kinsler back in that leadoff spot again tonight. Elvis Andrews back in his number 2 spot. Nelson Cruz moves up to third. He's playing right field. The third baseman is Adrian Beltre. Lance Berkman is DHing. A.J. Brzezinski bats 6th and catches. The first baseman is Robertson Chirinos. David Murphy bats 8th and plays left field. And the center fielder, Leonis Martin, bats 9th.
And we'll check out the scouting report for Tommy Milone. His record is even at 6-6. ERA is solid, 3.61. Doesn't walk many, less than 2 per 9 innings. That ratio is the 10th best in the American League. 0-2, 2.50 ERA in 3 career starts against the Rangers. Pitched well, not much to show for it. Got maybe an average fastball and a very good changeup. And as the game goes on, Ranger hitters will all get a chance to see that changeup, I'm sure.
And with that kind of stuff, too, he does not walk many people. Less than 2 per 9 innings. Kinsler skies one to left center field. You have Smith and Young converging, and it's Chris Young to make the grab, and Ian flies out to start things off for the Rangers. Now Elvis Andrews. Take a look at the A's defense. You saw 2/3 of the outfield. Smith in left and Young in center. Reddick is in right. Brandon Moss at first. Eric Sogard and Jed Lowry up the middle. Josh Donaldson at third. Derek Norris gets the start behind the plate. And Tommy Milone, the 26-year-old left-hander, is on the hill.
Back in 2008, Milone was a 10th round draft choice by Washington. He came over in a trade for Gio Gonzalez. Other players involved, including the catcher, Derek Norris, was also in that trade. But if you're going to give up a quality left-hander like Gio Gonzalez, they made a pretty good trade because they got one back in Tommy Milone. It's a lot cheaper right now, too.
Hard hit ground ball, but right at Lowry, the shortstop. And there are 2 away in the Ranger first inning.
The other stat I like about him, Buzz, reading their bios, He pitched at your alma mater, USC, for 3 years.
Right.
You probably already saw this. His record for 3 years at USC was 16-17 with a 4.78 ERA.
Tough league.
Yeah, I guess it's a tough league, is right. So here's a guy pitching significantly better in the big leagues than he did in college. Now, I don't know why. Maybe he didn't have the same changeup in college.
Right.
I don't know.
Nelly Cruz takes a fastball to the outside corner.
Either that or college hitters like to hit changeups. Maybe the aluminum bat had something to do with it.
Yeah, probably. Cruz at 263, as you can see, 18 and 48 home runs and RBI numbers. Both of those tops on the Rangers. 10 straight games has seen Nelly Cruz reach base safely, either by a hit or a walk or a hit by pitch. He's on a pretty good streak right about now. The 0-2 pitch coming. Got him swinging. Well, Malone goes upstairs, and very similar 1, 2, 3 innings for both Grimm and Malone. We're moving to the second in Arlington. Rangers nothing, A's nothing. Fox Sports Southwest.
Appreciate it, Buzz. Nice night for baseball. Ranger fans enjoying that so far. And want to remind Ranger fans, don't forget you could celebrate the 2013 induction of Pudge Rodriguez into the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame July 19th at the Fort Worth Omni Hotel. To find out more information, log on to texasrangers.com/Hall of Fame. Buzz?
All right, Jim, thank you. Brandon Moss looks at a slow breaking ball that dives in over the middle of the strike zone. It's 0-1. Moss, a 240 hitter. Grimm pushes him off the plate with that inside fastball. 1-1. 13 home runs, 37 RBI for the Oakland first baseman. Another breaking ball. That one hangs high. It's 2 balls and a strike. Oakland coming in with a 3-game lead in the West. This is their largest lead since way back in 2006. There's a strike. They finished the season that year with a 4-game lead in the division. This is the most that they have led the Western Division since that time 7 years ago. The chopper foul that got a piece of Moss's foot, and it's 2-2. The A's are 11-6 in the month of June. That compares to the Rangers' record of 5-12. You can see the turnaround is not taking a long time when you have records like that for the first half of the month. Another tapper foul. That one back to the screen behind home plate, and the count remains even. A's with a 21-18 road record. That's best. That's third best, I should say, in the American League. Grimm's next pitch. And the count has gone full now. Well, Moss, the number 4 hitter, trying to get aboard to start the second. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Josh Donaldson. Grimm heaves a sigh, and the payoff pitch. Got him swinging.
Laid off the high fastball, 2-2. Brought it down just a hair, and he got him to swing at it. 2 straight strikeouts on high fastballs for Justin. Good start to the ball game for him.
Cespedes to end the first, and now Moss to start the second. And Josh Donaldson coming up. Well, what I was going to say, last time we were talking about Justin Grimm slowing things down a little bit, and it's not really as much the tempo with which he works, slowing the game down mentally, especially when he got people on base. He said, the game started going real fast for me when I was thinking about what to do and all the options and everything. There's a strike to Donaldson. So he was trying to slow down the thought process between pitches. And, you know, I heard it put pretty well one time. I was told that if you give yourself fewer options, you will slow things down. In other words, instead of trying to think about every possibility and all the pitches you can throw, or if you're a hitter, whatever pitch the pitcher could throw, think about 1 or 2 things you're going to do and then leave it at that.
Right.
And it kind of made sense to me. Of course, I didn't do many things.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Now, can a pitcher get into a situation where he is rushing his delivery and going too fast?
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think Justin fell into that group every once in a while, too, especially with people on. You see him get his body out in front of his arm a little bit. And that's when we saw him hanging some breaking balls and leaving the fastball high. And I guess that's kind of the result of letting the mental part of the game get too quick. 2-1 pitch to Donaldson. It's now 3-1. Now Justin trying to figure out how to come back with this 3-1 count to get Donaldson. Into the wind he goes. And the pitch low and outside, ball 4. A 1-out walk puts Donaldson aboard and brings up Seth Smith. First base runner for either ball club tonight. And Justin try to practice a little of that delay tactic.
The A's have a number of hitters who are on pace to walk anywhere from 65 to 85 times. They take a lot of walks, and it's not just one guy who's going to walk 120 times. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of their hitters participate in that. And if you can walk 70 times, 80 times, you won't lead the league in walks, but it's a solid number.
First ball swinging, fly ball to center field. Leonis Martin backpedals a couple of steps, makes the grab. And back to first goes Donaldson, so Seth Smith, not wasting any time, flies out on the first pitch he sees. 2 gone now for Josh Reddick. That's helpful. What Justin Grimm got there, a first pitch out after you've walked somebody. Yep. And even though it wasn't a 4-pitch walk, it still was a walk that I'm sure stuck in the craw of Justin Grimm a little bit. And then Smith going after the first pitch, an easy fly ball, so that helps. That'll get your frame of mind back where it needs to be. Reddick hitting at just 206, but he has been hot of late. Went on the disabled list with a wrist injury, sprained his right wrist. And since he has come back, 16 ball games right there will tell you, 286. Grimm with the first pitch to him. Good fastball to the outside corner. Rangers shifting around to the right, although not drastically with the left-handed hitting Reddick up there. Elvis still a good 10 paces to the shortstop side of second. And he's popped up. Elvis waving off everybody in shallow center field. The shortstop puts it away, and that'll do it. A 1-out walk, no damage. The A's strand their first runner. After an inning and a half, Rangers nothing, A's nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. poll for tonight, and our question to you: would you like to see the Rangers have an old-timers game on Hall of Fame weekend? And look at these guys. Isn't that something? You vote for Tom Grieve and Mark McLemore and say, yeah, sure, I would like to see them. See the sweet swing of Tom Grieve again and the gold glove of the doctor of defense, Mark McLemore. Go to Twitter and pop in hashtag FSYesGame. Or if you see Wash, as we saw him in Minnesota in the old-timers game, hashtag FSNoGame. Don't want to see a pulled hamstring like Wash did in 2010. Skipper said that laid him up for a couple weeks. He wasn't his normal animated self after that.
Yeah, the worst part was he did it right in front of all his players, and they never let him forget that
no.
play.
Adrian Beltre starting off the Rangers second. Tommy Malone misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Beltre, 303 with the average, 14 home runs, 38 RBI, and 4 out of 9 against the A's left-hander Malone with a couple of home runs. Hits this one well to right field. That's slicing toward the corner. Deep in the corner, it is foul off the sidewall. And we will come back and try it again.
The last Hall of Fame game, old-timers game I played in, I said at the time, that will be my last game. I was batting against Warren Spahn, and obviously he was a little bit older, and I'm thinking I don't want to hit the ball back through the middle. And somehow I just hit this ball, and I went over the left fielder's head, and I ended up getting a double. And when I got back to the dugout after the innings, Warren Spahn was out of the game. And Rich Billings said something like, hey, nice hit. You should have hit him that hard when you were a player. And Warren Spahn heard him say nice hit to me. And I won't use the language he used, but he screamed at me, when I was your age, I won 20 games in the big leagues. Big deal.
Ropes one to left field for a leadoff strike. Yeah,
I said to myself, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm never going. I'm
really?
never. You can't do anything. You either look terrible and it's an embarrassment, or you do well and everybody says, well, big deal. Who can't play in an old timers game? So
where was that game?
That was at the old ballpark.
Was it?
Yeah.
The last one I played in, you see Beltre smoking that line drive to left. He's up in Boston in 80, I think it was 86. Got to pitch to Ted Williams.
Whoa.
And that was a thrill. And I couldn't, he had the same swing, and I was trying to throw it hard enough for him to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and I couldn't throw it hard enough. He made solid contact and hit about a 370-foot fly ball to right field.
I remember the Jimmy Fund game, and you're talking about throwing it hard enough for him. Lee Stang was the batting practice pitcher in the home run derby, and Ted was the last hitter. And when he walked up to the plate, and I won't use his language, but he was screaming at Lee Stang, the batting practice pitcher.
There's a drive, well hit by Berkman, deep to left center field, way back, goodbye. Lance Berkman, his third home run right-handed this year, and he gives the Rangers a 2-0 lead.
Tommy Malone had given up 14 home runs coming into the game. That was the 6th highest amount in the American League. 13 of them were to right-hand hitters, now 14. The 14 home runs to right-hand hitters, that's the most of any pitcher. Good swing by Lance, got it up and drove it right straight into their bullpen. Nice to see the Rangers jump out to a lead. And it's probably the spot he wasn't aiming for right there.
Well, that is the team's 88th home run of the season. And Berkman now with 6. You mentioned this is his third right-handed. He's only had 61 at-bats as a right-handed hitter. He has 3 in 158 at-bats as a left-handed hitter. And here's the skipper. There's one of my veteran guys doing it. Just what we needed.
So Ted was walking out to the batter's box, and he was screaming at Lee Stang, throw the ball hard. Don't throw those soft lollipops to me.
Brzezinski pops one to left center, but this is playable. As Chris Young goes into the alley, makes the grab for out number 1.
He didn't want him throwing batting practice. He wanted him throwing, something that simulated a game situation for him. And he was a little bit overweight at the time, and he was very sarcastic, and a lot of us on the bench were kind of hoping he wouldn't do very well. And he took the first pitch, which everybody on the bench goes, a guarantee he takes the first pitch. Well, he did. And if he took 15 swings, every single ball he hit was right on the sweet spot of the bat. It was amazing. We're all sitting, he's, whatever he was, 50 years old and a little bit overweight. And there wasn't one guy on the bench that didn't believe that in a game he would do better than they could do at that age.
Robinson Chirinos is the hitter. And he pulls one foul and evens the count at 1-1. Talking about how quickly the ball leaves the bat. The pitch came in at 88, and with Berkman intervening, it went back out at 98.
Interesting. It's tough. It's tough when a new number like that comes out, Buzz. You don't know exactly how to quantify it and how it compares to other players. But from time to time, we'll show that number, and maybe over a little bit of a time frame, like be able to come up with numbers that are meaningful.
Tell you what I like to see in conjunction, I mentioned to you, Tom, in conjunction with that speed is how long a third baseman or a pitcher or a different player has to react to a ball. That ball's hit well to center field, but Chirinos didn't quite get enough of it as Chris Young makes the grab for out number 2, and David Murphy will come up. I'd like to see the reaction time that translates into.
Yeah.
Guy that's say 105 feet away at third base. How many tenths of a second does he have to react to the ball?
Yeah, it would have been nice to see that on that ball that Martin sliced at Donaldson when he was in.
Right.
That was a hard hit ball, and he was pretty close to him.
Or you can understand how a pitcher gets hit in the head when you only have, say, 0.3 of a second to recognize and duck.
Yeah, plus after you've let go of the ball, you might not be in perfect position to field the ball either. It's not like you're standing there waiting for the ball to come at you like a third baseman. That's scary just to think about it.
David Murphy pops one up down the right side. Moss and Sogard, the second baseman in foul territory, makes the grab, and that'll do it. But Beltre and Berkman back-to-back the killer bees with Berkman going yard. We'll go to the third inning. It's the Rangers 2, the A's nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. With the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. It's available on iPhone and iPad. You can download it for free today. The Rangers downloaded a couple of runs here early. They lead 2-0 as Justin Grimm goes to work in the third inning to Derek Norris. Norris, the number 8 hitter, to be followed by Eric Sogard and Chris Young. John Jaso, the left-handed component of the catching situation in Oakland. Started the first 2 games. Now Norris, who pinch hit, had a couple of at-bats in the first game, getting the start behind the plate tonight. 195 the average. As Grimm comes back with a 2-0 pitch. It's popped up. Shallow right field, way up in the air. Cruz coming on in foul territory, and he can't grab it. Got close to the wall down there. Looked like Nelly trying to figure out where he was as soon as he hit that warning track, and the ball eluded his glove.
Yeah, when you're sprinting and you're watching the ball, you get to the point where the wall juts out, and you're not exactly sure where that point is. And I don't blame him for shying away, because if he runs right straight into the corner of that wall, then that's just an injury waiting to happen. We just wasn't sure where that corner was.
Well, the count is 2 balls and 1 strike to Norris. 3 home runs, 15 driven in. Justin Grimm to the wide. The right-handers coming home, and he misses high. It's 3 balls and a strike.
Also looked, Buzz, like that was hit during where that opening is real high, and the wind is blowing in. It looked like the wind knocked that ball down by, who knows, 10 feet or so.
Right. You know, the wind, as you can see, coming in from just about dead center field now. Chopper out towards short, cut off by Beltre. He sets and throws. Got Norris by a step. He got down the line pretty well.
He did get down the line.
Now, before Eric Sogard comes up, let's take a time for a Mazda game break. Here's Dana Larson. All right, Dana, thank you. Now, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Eric Sogard, a 265 hitter, was right back up the middle and right over the outstretched right hand of Justin Grimm. I'm glad he didn't get that hand up higher. The ball was laced to center pretty well, and it's a 1-out base hit.
And Sogard swinging the bat pretty well the last month, hitting over 300. He had a base hit similar to that off Darvish last night. 2 outs and a man on second to drive in a run. That one might have been hit a little bit harder.
Yeah. So 1 on, 1 out. And Chris Young up for his 2nd at bat of the evening. He grounded to short to start the proceedings here tonight. The first pitch, a knee-high strike, says Doug Eddings. Young, who came over from the Diamondbacks. A's were hoping he would really settle in and be one of their key outfielders, but he has gotten off to a very slow start offensively. Both Chris Young and Yoenis Cespedes battling a few injuries. Cespedes more so, and he's been relegated to the DH spot. So they're kind of filling in around him. The line drive foul down the left side.
Nice play. Played the carom perfectly. Nothing to it.
Let's see, Young in the last 3.5 weeks of play really struggling. 143 the average. Grimm ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes. Sogard the lead from first. He's going, and Grimm steps off the correct way and nails him at second base.
Yeah, he slowed it down, Buzz.
Yep, he did.
Took his time, didn't panic.
To say the correct way, we've seen that play missed by 2 or 3 different pitchers this year, where the runner goes and they either make the pitch home because they can't decide what to do, or they balk.
So what's the key? You have to...
Just exactly what Grimm did.
You have to step off the rubber, right?
Step off the back of the pitching rubber and then make a play, and it's a very easy play at second once you disengage. Now watch Grimm. He hears it. He steps off.
If you just turn and throw with your foot on the rubber, that's a balk?
Yeah, because it's almost impossible to
couldn't
do that.
it. You couldn't do it anyway,
Yeah.
I guess.
No, it's not a balk, but if you return that, it's not a balk if you're throwing to an unoccupied base for the purposes of making a play.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Well, the good news is you got a good jump.
The 2-2 pitch. Yeah, he got a great jump. Key for Grimm, though, once he heard there he goes, he reacted the right way to it. And that's what you were talking about. Slowing the game down enough to let those reactions happen the proper way. I can't count the number of times that's gone over in spring training and pitcher's fielding practice. And invariably it comes up in a game and catches you unaware. Line drive to left. Murphy coming in, but that's going to settle in front of him. So the caught stealing / pickoff caught stealing. Very big now as Young follows it up with a base hit. He's at first with 2 outs for Jed Lowry. So 2 hits in the inning and for the game. 1 on, 2 out. Lowry a ground ball to third. His first time to the plate. The time called momentarily. Chris Young trying to put on a guard that he will use to run the bases with. Checking that wrist that he had injured. Now we're set to go. Lowry, the switch hitter, up there as a left-handed batter against the right-hander Grimm. Young.
He should try the same thing.
That was a balk. He got away with it. Yep.
What did he do?
He started to turn to his right, stopped briefly, and then continued. He got away with it. It was a flinch.
Well, generally, they don't miss that kind of thing.
Grimm ready. And he will go first base with a toss to drive Young back. Now see if he doesn't flinch here. Right there.
Bent his knee, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. Before he stepped off the back of the rubber.
That's what Charlie Huff used to do on his pickoff move, right? Bend his knee. He did it so quick you couldn't see it.
Yeah, a lot of good base runners will watch either the back knee because they feel that when you make a pickoff move, you don't bend the back knee, you go ahead and step. Or they watch the heel. If you pick up the back heel, figure you're going to first base if you pick that back heel up. And you can't pivot with your foot flat, although you can. Gary Pettis and I got into a discussion about that one day. But he used to use the heel, so that when your heel stayed down, he would go ahead and go because he thought you were going home. And I said, okay, well, what happens if I develop a pickoff move where I keep my heel down? He said, well, you pick me up. And he thought that.
But not many people had that kind of pickoff move.
No, I don't think many people realized that. There's a pitch that was almost a strike.
That was a strike.
Pierzynski was going out for a pitch out, and Grimm didn't get it out there. And Pierzynski asking Doug Eddings, where was that pitch?
Yeah, that definitely could have been a strike. I can't blame the umpire for maybe missing a pitch right there. But you're looking up for the pitch out, and they didn't get it. At least the hitter didn't drive a double down the left field line.
1-0 the count to Lowry. And this one popped up shallow center field. Leonis Martin jogging in, centers himself underneath it, makes the grab, and that'll do it. The A's get 2 hits in the inning. The one big base running mistake cost them. They strand a runner. Bottom of the third coming up. Rangers 2, A's nothing. Fox Sports Southwest. is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealer. Come join the red, white, and U celebration. Enjoy great savings on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Jack in the Box. Now's your chance to go big with Jack's Big Stack Burger.
One kid's eating a hot dog, thinking about that ice cream.
Hey, you want to trade?
I told him, you got to finish that hot dog before you get the ice cream.
They're going to work a deal out here shortly. Oh, wow. Well, Leonis Martin starting things off for the Rangers here in the third. And he fouls back a high offering from Tommy Malone.
Yeah, Buzz, while we were talking about Tommy Malone going to USC, I got a text from Jared Sandler, who used to be our intern here and was at USC at the same time Tommy Malone was there. He said he did get victimized by the aluminum bat.
Backhanded pickup by Moss. He underhands to Malone covering. That is out number one.
He also said he's a really good ping pong player. Jared says, I never beat him. So I don't know if that means Tommy Malone's a good ping pong player or he could just beat Jared. I'm not sure which. But anyway, Jared's an aspiring broadcaster, wants to work his way up to be a big league broadcaster, and he's well on his way to doing that. So if you're still watching, Jared, hope everything's going well during the season and hope to see you sometime during the season.
But one out now and back to the top of the order for Ian Kinsler. Ian, a fly ball to center. Back in the first inning. That changeup that floats in and over for strike one. Ian with a batting average of .292 as he faces Malone. Count evens at a ball and a strike. Kinsler now 2 out of 7 against the Oakland left-hander. You see in the last couple of games, Ian scoring some runs, and that for Ian has always been the mark that he cherishes the most as far as a measure of how he's doing as a leadoff hitter. He said, hey, my job is to get on base and score runs. He said, if I score more than 100 runs, I've done a pretty good job. Hard hit, base hit to left field.
Looks a lot like the ball Beltre hit. He got underneath one the first time up. That time he had a short, quick stroke. Saw this the other night on a line drive. Talking to himself, going down the first baseline, probably saying, there's the swing. That's what I was trying to do the first time up.
Where were you back in the first inning?
That's what it feels like. Why can't you do that every time?
Well, the third hit of the night for the Rangers. A one-out single has Kinsler aboard. Elvis at the plate. Andrus grounded out to short. And it's been a while since we've had the opportunity to see Andrus and Kinsler in maybe a running situation, a hit-and-run situation where there are plenty of options. Where Kinsler's been on and Elvis has been at the plate. One out here, and this would be prime time to utilize their speed and ability to handle the bat. Off speed, and that catches the inside corner. It is strike one.
3 birthdays today. J.K. Boone. J.K. Boone from Dallas is 84. Elvin Baker from Denton is 83. And Neil Baker from Mesquite is 80. Well, happy birthday to J.K., Elvin, and Neil.
Kinsler with the lead. 0-1, the count to Andrus. Now the count is even. Mentioned Elvis out of the lineup yesterday. Ron Washington really had to fight Elvis about getting the day off. Elvis wanted to stay in the lineup, and Washington said, trust me on this, when you need the day off, I'm going to get you away from the game for 24 hours and let you get back in there today. And Elvis eventually complied with that thought. Fouled off. Elvis trying to go the other way and fouled it back to the screen. It's a ball and 2 strikes. One thing Ron Washington has done since day one here, that's be able to tell when infielders in particular could benefit from the day off. They're a little bit sluggish. Maybe their mannerisms are not quite in character. Just has that innate feel for when to give a guy some time away from the game. And he did that with Andrews yesterday. Kinsler driven back with a soft toss. And Elvis waiting. Elvis 5 for 30 on this homestand. This the 10th game of an 11-game homestand for the Rangers. 1-2 the count as Malone comes set. Out of play to the right. Nice crowd on hand here tonight. Should be in the neighborhood of 35, 36,000. Rangers averaging just over 39,000 this year. And after the record attendance of 2012, great representation by Ranger fans here in 2013. Malone again is set. Check of Kinsler at first. 1-2 pitch. Shallow right field. On comes Reddick. Makes the grab. And Kinsler stays back at first. There are now 2 outs and Nelson Cruz coming up. And let's head down and say hello again to Allie Lucia. Allie?
Thank you, Buzz. Nelly Cruz batting in the 3 spot tonight. And as you know, he had 2 home runs in the win on Monday. Not a familiar spot for Nelly. I asked him about batting in the 3 spot. A little sarcasm.
The only thing that matters is to be in the lineup. If you're there, any part of the lineup, you're gonna contribute. So that's the way I see it.
Nelly says he knows the drill. It's baseball, whether you're in the 1 spot or the 9th spot. He doesn't care. He knows he's got to get on base. Buzz.
All right, Ellie, thank you. And Kinsler drawing some more attention from Tommy Malone. Malone's given up 3 hits and 2 runs. The big blow, the Lance Berkman 2-run home run last inning. Kinsler at first, 2 outs. Now the pitch to Cruz. Hit down the right field line and slicing, and it will go back into the second row. Out of play. It's 0-1. Cruz with 3 home runs on this homestand. Gone 8 for 30. Rangers, however, won just 2 of the first 9 games here at home. 24 RBI in the last 34 games for the Ranger right fielder. The 0-1 pitch. Line to right field. That's a base hit. Kinsler will check in at second as Reddick gets to the ball quickly. Nelly Cruz going the other way. Has a single. The Rangers have runners at first and second for Adrian Beltre.
It really looked like Elvis and Nelly were trying to drive the ball toward right field. Wait on it. It helps you with a guy with a good changeup. You're thinking about right field. Got in on him a little bit, but he's so strong, he still made it look like a fairly good line drive.
The 2 on, 2 out. Here's Beltre, who singled to left field his first time up. He came around on Berkman's home run. Beltre, 38 runs driven in, looking to make it 1 or 2 more here. To right field, Reddick breaks back, gets there in time to make the grab. Hard hit ball, but the Rangers are gone in the 3rd. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. After 3 complete. The Rangers 2, the A's nothing on Fox Sports Southwest.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Buzz and Tom, check this out. $25,000 donated to the Texas Rangers Baseball Foundation by 20th Century Fox. This is Philip Cubans of 20th Century Fox. Now, in return, the Rangers donated this to the RBI program, built a brand new field. What was this all about, Philip?
That's right. Well, it's the 20th anniversary of the Sandlot film, and we really, it's all about youth baseball and Little League, and we thought we'd really try to give back and celebrate youth baseball. So we're happy to do it here in Dallas.
Well, what a job you guys did. And speaking of 20th anniversary of Sandlot, you guys released Sandlot again because of that.
We did, yeah. It's totally redigitized, remastered. It's available now. You know, again, it's a great film celebrating youth baseball. Everybody's got to see that movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate it, Philip. Great job. What do you guys think about the new field, huh? You bet. You got to love it. Buzz.
All right, Noxie, thanks. Yeah, great job. Congratulations to everybody involved in that. It's a fantastic deal. Yoenis Cespedes leading off the A's fourth inning. Rangers on top, 2-0. The pitch to Cespedes, a good fastball that just missed the outer corner, and that evens things at 2-2. Cespedes struck out back in the first inning. Grimm has struck out a pair tonight. He's walked one, given up a couple of hits. Rolled out slowly to short. Elvis unloads in a hurry, and Cespedes shot down to start the fourth inning. Now Brandon Moss coming up. Hey, baseball fans, Metro PCS wants to send you on a VIP flyaway experience with your home team in L.A. Register at participating Metro PCS locations for your chance to win. One gone here in the fourth. Brandon Moss, a strikeout, his first time up. Yoenis Cespedes, a leisurely stroll back from first base, and just now getting back into the dugout. Thought when you made it out, you wanted to get off the field as quick as you can. Maybe not. Nice play by Chirinos, an underhand feed, rim covering, and Robinson Chirinos showing a little dexterity over there at first base.
Well, you know, if you've got that kind of versatility where you can play a couple of infield positions and catch, got a pretty good chance of hanging on as a big league utility player at the very least. He was hitting .295 in AAA. Hit the ball hard his first time up today. Center field.
Played some first base, some third base down at Round Rock, and also caught. The base is empty, 2 away. Josh Donaldson drew the only walk issued by Justin Grimm. That was back in the second inning. Donaldson, a .303 hitter, and the breaking ball is wide. It's 1-0. I don't think the Rangers are making any secret of the idea they want to throw Donaldson a lot of breaking balls from right-handed pitchers. It's about all he has seen. Pops this one up. Around home plate, coming down the line from third, Adrian Beltre makes the grab, and a very quick and tidy 1-2-3 inning for Justin Grimm. The A's gone, the Rangers still leading after 3.5, 2-0 on Fox Sports from the Southwest. Tuesday night from now through August the 13th. You can enter to win free Rangers tickets and a VIP Rangers experience. Visit otbfanzone.com for more details. The Rangers coming to bat in the bottom of the fourth inning, leading 2-0. And they are leading because of the man stepping to home plate crunched a 2-run home run his last time up. Lance Berkman with that shot into the bullpen in deepest left center field with Adrian Beltre aboard. And Malone starts him with a changeup that floats outside for ball one. For Berkman, just his fourth and fifth RBI in the last 20 ball games. Also just his third home run in the last 30 ball games. So it had been a long dry spell for a guy that's not accustomed to having spells like that. 2-0 pitch. Right down the middle with a fastball. It's 2-1. Now the AT&T reverse replay. Boom. Down, out over the plate. Lance Berkman left the ballpark with it. And Malone coming back now with a 2-1 pitch that catches the bottom of the strike zone. Well, the count is even. Berkman trying to get aboard to start the Ranger fourth inning. Rangers 2 runs on 4 hits. Oakland no runs on 2 hits through their first 4 frames. And Berkman again lining it to left center field. In a hurry is Smith, and a nice backhanded running catch by Seth Smith. The same angle, same trajectory. This one staying in the yard. And Smith able to run it down. A nice play.
Just hung up a little bit too long. Looked like it was going to split the gap, but not sure that Lance got that right on the sweet part of the bat. It just hung up enough for Smith. Close-up view of the concentration it took.
No, one away. A.J. Brzezinski, a fly ball to center in the second inning. 0 for 1, hitting at .302. And first ball swinging, he skies to the alley in right center field. Way up there, and plenty of time for Chris Young to circle under it. And that is out number 2.
First baseman Robinson Chirinos.
Now Robinson Chirinos will come up. Chirinos played in 46 games for Round Rock, scoring 25 runs, so he was on base a good amount of times. Way inside, a breaking ball. It is 1-0. These 2 stints with the Rangers this year, his first major league action since 2011. Pops that next pitch foul. It'll reach the seats on the first base side, and the count moves to 1-1. See the numbers for Chirinos down there at AAA. Way inside. Last major league duty that Chirinos saw was in 2011 with Tampa Bay. He appeared in 20 ball games with the Rays. Now time called momentarily as Robinson not quite ready. 2-1 the count. Left-hander Malone to the wind. And the pitch is skied to shallow center field. Sogard going out, making the call, and second baseman handles it. So the Rangers, for the first time since the first inning, down in order. We have finished 4 in Arlington. The Rangers 2, the A's nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. against the A's. Get here early to see a pregame presentation featuring live animals from the Dallas Zoo. Gates open at 10 a.m. for the Wildlife Education Program. So bring your kids to the ballpark tomorrow. Great seats still available at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. And speaking of wild animals, no, I shouldn't say that. The Doctor of Defense has joined us once again. Mark McLemore. Mac, nice to see you. And could you kind of turn it around again tonight? I mean, you were good on Monday night. Got 4 runs. Last night,
nada.
Kind of slacked off a little bit.
I did. I think I'm back on it tonight.
Are you? Okay. Good.
Well, you know, he's the Doctor of Defense, so his job is to hold the A's down.
I can do that. I've got that one.
Okay.
I've got that one.
Breaking ball. And Justin Grimm working to Seth Smith is ahead of the count, 1-2. Grimm looks a little bit better this time around.
He does. I like the pace that he's working at. He's getting the ball, getting the sign, and throwing it.
Line drive. There's Adrian Beltre on the third base side. And you were part of our AT&T Twitter poll tonight, you and Tom. We were talking about, we used you guys as great examples for an old-timers game. No offense meant. We wanted to see the folks that wanted to see the game, and they going to go on Twitters and because they want to see the sweet swing of Tom Grieve and the Gold Glove of Mark McLemore, the Doctor of Defense. 93% said yes. But I wanted to ask you about that play you were making. It looked as though you were bobbling that ball. Was that a trick play, or?
There was actually absolutely no bobbling to that ball whatsoever.
Well,
that was an absolute boot.
He never had control to bobbling.
Yeah, bobbling means it's either in the hand or the glove. That was a boot off somewhere. It just
I thought you might have been just playing one of those deals where you juggle it around a little bit and then throw the guy out.
Not at all. They could have found a better picture than that. Come on. Something diving, I'm laying out or something.
Oh, goodness. There's a strike to make it 3-1.
That was
to Josh Reddick. There's no way to work around that one. Huh?
No. Okay. Well, wait. I kept it in front of me. It was off the body.
There you go.
In front of me. There we go.
Reddick draws the second walk issued by Grimm tonight, a 1-out pass. Now Derek Norris will come up. Mike Maddox going out to the mound. An attitude adjustment maybe for Justin Grimm right now.
Well, he walked a guy in the second inning. That was Donaldson after one was out, and Mike didn't go out, so I guess something's a little bit different this time after one was out.
Well, in the last several starts when Grimm has been struggling, it's been this part of the ball game where things have gotten away from him a little bit. The third time through the order, but middle inning, 4th, 5th, 6th inning. And I think Mike Maddox wants to head off any potential trouble spot that Justin Grimm might be entering.
Well, maybe he went out buzzed to keep it simple, to give him the 1 or 2 things to think about.
There you go.
I saw him point out to Elvis who's going to be covering second base, so that wasn't a problem for him.
It didn't take long, and they got the message across. So here's Norris, who grounded to third, his first time to the plate. Reddick at first. Rip and a miss as Norris was thinking he's going to try to get ahead of me after the walk with a fastball and didn't get it. Or maybe he wasn't thinking that. I don't know. Swung like it. Sometimes they give hitters too much credit for being able to think about all those things.
I think he's always looking for a fastball.
Doesn't matter, huh?
No.
Got one and fouled it off to the right. 0-2 the count.
Mac, were you the kind of hitter that looked for a pitch, or did you look for a fastball and adjust to anything else?
I was that hitter that looked for a pitch, and that pitch was always a fastball.
Me too.
I couldn't look for anything else.
I figured, why look for something else when you have a hard time hitting it anyway? You might as well concentrate on hitting the fastball that got a better chance of hitting it.
I mean, there were a couple of guys I would look for a curveball on because I knew that's all they were going to throw me.
Yeah.
Aaron Seeley was one of them. He wouldn't throw me a fastball, literally. He would throw 4, 5, 6 curveballs, as many as it took to either strike me out or walk me. And so I would either have to hit the curveball or take a walk. But other than that, fastball all day long.
Breaking ball. It gets away from Brzezinski, so down to second goes Reddick on the wild pitch. The first time this evening that the A's have had a runner at second base. Reddick there with one out. And a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on Derek Norris. He's got the shin guard.
Yep, had his glove there, and it just kicked to his right and hit his leg in the shin guard and bounced away from him.
Just goes to show you can do everything right. It still may not work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Grimm at check of second. 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Brzezinski checking Reddick back to second. Throws out Norris to complete the strikeout. Well, there are 2 gone now for Eric Sogard. Well, fans, don't forget to play Lotto Texas with Extra for your chance to win Texas-sized jackpots. It's Texas' original jackpot game, available at your favorite lottery retailer. Sogard, a solid single to center field, hit it right back through the middle his first time up. Low line drive, and see if Justin Grimm is able to prevent any damage here in the 5th inning. Check of Reddick at second base. The first pitch to Sogard comes off the plate inside for ball 1. Nice crowd on hand for this Wednesday night affair. Rangers and A's will wrap up things tomorrow. It's a 1 o'clock start. Matinee contest. And the Rangers on the road for a week. 3 games at St. Louis, 3 at Yankee Stadium. The pitch is inside. And the count goes to 2-0. I think if you're Justin Grimm right now, you'd want to be a little careful with Eric Sogard in that he's swinging a hot bat, Tom, as you mentioned. But also a base hit right here would make this just a 1-run game.
Yeah, for sure.
You do have first base open if you need it. There's a good fastball to the outside corner. Guess what I'm saying is just because he's the 9th place hitter doesn't mean you have to throw him right down the middle and let him have a hack at it.
Well, Chris Young has been struggling, but he does have a hit tonight, and he did have a pinch hit against Joe Nathan the other night.
Saw that average for Sogard over the last month. And the breaking ball catches the outer half. 2-2 now. Grimm studying the signs from Brzezinski. Right-hander okays one. He comes set. A check of second. The 2-2 pitch. Inside, it's 3-2. Now Brzezinski going to go out and have a chat with Grimm to remind him, I would think, that, hey, we've got first base open now. That we don't have to give in to him here. Got Chris Young, a right-handed hitter, in the on-deck circle. And this is where a veteran like Brzezinski can take charge of a situation, go out there and make sure that Grimm understands what the options are. Also find out what he wants to do. Grimm with the payoff pitch. Breaking ball hangs outside, ball 4. He elected to go with the breaking ball and lost Sogard. 2 on with a pair of walks. Chris Young is 1 for 2. And again, Brzezinski going to go out, allow Grimm to slow things down mentally. And Ian Kinsler will come in and add to that conversation.
Well, this is an important inning for Grimm. And like you mentioned earlier, getting that 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning is usually where he's been giving up that big inning and getting into a lot of trouble. So hopefully he can get out of this.
Mac, Tom and I were talking about Grimm has said several times, lately especially, that the problem he had was slowing the game down for himself. And Tom and I both agreed that that kind of thing is familiar to us. We've had that problem. What about you? Did you have instances early in your career where that was a problem?
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. It was very, very tough for me to slow it down and not look at it and make it bigger than what it was. And, you know, I think as you get older and the more you play and the longer you're in the league, you learn how to slow it down. And you realize that it's not any different than if nothing's going on. You can take things and blow them out of proportion. You lose the sense of what's going on.
1-1 the count to Young. Yeah, I told Tom I'd had taught to me early. I think it was in college when I first heard it. Cut down the number of options you give yourself in a situation. You know, go to your strength when there's any doubt in your mind in a tough situation. Don't try and do something because somebody else has a weakness to exploit. Go to your strength first. And that for me, that seemed to make sense. It seemed to slow the game down enough to where I didn't have to think about too much except my strength in executing it.
That's it. And to your point, it's the way I used it was do what you do.
Right.
Don't worry about anything else. The only thing you can control is what you do.
Pitch outside, and now Grimm has gotten into a situation that he didn't want to. 3-1, the count to Young.
He really didn't throw strikes to Norris either. Norris just swung at a bunch of breaking balls that were down and out of the strike zone. So last 3 hitters, now 4 hitters having a little bit of a problem locating the strike zone, making his pitch.
3-1 pitch coming from Grimm. Hit well to center field. Leonis Martin going back. Still going back at the wall. It's gone. Dead center field for Chris Young, and he has turned the game around. The A's take the lead. It's now 3-2 Oakland.
You get behind in the count, and you have to throw a fastball, and you turn every hitter into a better hitter. Get ahead in the count, you don't have quite the same swing. 3-1, he'd walked a couple of guys, he grooves the fastball, and bang, 1 swing, 3 runs later.
So now the bases are empty. Here's Jed Lowry, who is 0 for 2.
You know, Young coming into the game had hit 143 in the last 18 games. He's probably swinging the bat a little bit better now. But I think the point is, it doesn't matter what you've done in your last 18 games. When you've got a 3-1 pitch and the pitcher throws a 90-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle of the plate, that 143 average is pretty meaningless. Probably haven't had many situations like that during the last 18 games where you've been in a hitter's count and gotten your pitch to hit.
Jason Frazier in the bullpen, loosening pretty quickly. And Lowry loops one to left field. David Murphy, a few steps to his left, makes the catch, and that'll do it. But it's a hitter too late as Chris Young gets the A's on top, a 3-run home run. It's now Oakland 3, Texas 2 on Fox Sports Southwest. right here on Fox Sports Southwest for Chevy Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. The Rangers now put it in comeback mode. They trail by 1. As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, David Murphy, Leonis Martin, and Ian Kinsler, the first 3 to do the swinging against Tommy Malone. Murphy fouled out to the second baseman, Eric Sogard, his first time up, takes a breaking ball that's wide. 1 ball and no strikes. Murph hitting at .209, as you see. And Malone hits the outside corner. 1-1. Now 2-1 as the off-speed pitch stayed high. Murphy 8 home runs, 27 runs driven in. Hitting in the number 8 slot tonight with the left-hander on the mound. And a rip and a miss there. 2-2. Murph just 4 for 29 on this homestand. He has been scuffling. As a matter of fact, you go back over the last month of play, David hitting just 173. Loops one into center. Young coming hard. Still coming. He can't make the play. He's short hosted. And David Murphy dumps one into center. A leadoff single. And that's how the Ranger 5th inning gets started.
Get a good look at Young. Coming close, but can't quite get there. Maybe with a dive he had a chance.
Had a chance to turn that into a triple, too, if he was diving out there.
Might have.
Here's Leonis Martin. He's going to bunt, and he bunts it foul down the first base side. 0-1 the count. Martin rounded out to first as he led off the 3rd inning tonight. 268 the average is Leonis looking down to Gary Pettis, the Ranger third base coach. A's have Donaldson, the third baseman, up in front of the cut of the grass, protecting just in case that Martin pushes a ball that way. Toss to first. Murphy read that move well and was back easily. Good look at the defensive alignment for the Oakland A's. Both Sogard and Lowry up a couple of steps from their normal position at double play depth. 0-1 the count. Fastball turned him around. It's a ball and a strike. Showing no signs of a bunt there. Leonis Martin almost walked into that pitch. Martin, during this 4-game hitting streak, 6 for 13. He went doubles crazy for the first couple of games of that streak. Another toss to first. Again, Leonis checking with Gary Pettis. Rangers need to interject a little enthusiasm and energy in this thing. 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Malone with 57 pitches under his belt, 42 strikes, only 15 balls. He has been around the plate. Martin chops one foul, and we'll try it again at a ball and 2 strikes. A's 3 runs on 3 hits. Rangers 2 runs on 5 hits. Neither club has committed an error tonight. A couple of walks in that 5th inning for the A's prior to the home run by Chris Young made all the difference. And David Murphy with a single to lead things off. Trying to get at least into scoring position here. Inside, 2-2. With a guy like Malone, is the best way to go about hitting him, or go the approach to just block off the inside corner, that he's not going to be able to come inside to you effectively. That one's pulled into right field, a base hit. Murphy rounding second, headed for third. He will make it standing, and Leonis Martin pulls one by, but drawn in Brandon Moss. The Rangers have runners at the corners with nobody out on the top of the order coming up.
A hard hit ball by Leonis right there. The pitch out over the plate, actually on the outside corner, and just yanked it. Pretty good spot for Ian Kinsler, first and third and nobody out. Rangers trying to take the lead back after giving up 3 in the top of the 5th.
So first and third, Kinsler 1 for 2, singled in the 3rd inning. Also a fly ball to center. We'll see if Leonis sets sail. He's on the move. The pitch is taken, the throw to second, not in time.
I thought he was going to call him out there for a second.
I thought he was winding up.
I thought he was getting in position to ring him up.
Angel Hernandez running around that play like he was getting ready to throw up that fist. He just wanted to get in better position to make that call.
He's telling all 3 of us, just relax, guys. I called it the way you wanted it. Actually, I think he was kind of going around to see if he could see whether he tagged him or not. Might have been blocked out a little bit.
1-0 the count to Kinsler, and he takes a strike at the knees.
You know, he's looking in his glove to see if he caught it, which, if you're going to call him safe, it doesn't really matter whether he caught the ball or not.
He wouldn't have seen the tag. He was blocked out.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Off speed, low and inside. It's 2-1 to Kinsler. Ian, better than 50% of the time this year, has been able to score that runner. And we were talking the other day about one of the big failures of the ball club this year has been their consistency, or their inconsistency, I should say, in scoring people. That's inside, 3-1. Rather than hitting with runners in scoring position, scoring people when you get them on third and less than 2 out.
Yeah, this is the most important part here. When you've got runners at third base with less than 2 outs, you've got to get them in. Put the ball in play, especially with the infield back. Put it in play, keep it away from the corners, and just put it in play. You get that run in, whether it's a sac fly, fielder's choice, you get the job done.
That ball's hit pretty well to right center. Going is Young. He makes the catch. Both runners tag. Murphy will score. Martin to third, and he makes a turn and holds on. A good job by Kinsler. Not only did he score Murphy with a sac fly, he got Martin to third with only 1 out. Rangers have tied this ball game. It's now 3 apiece.
If you've got the infield back, Mac, with men at second and third, it's really kind of the same situation. Man on second and nobody out. Try to hit behind the runner. You hit a ground ball to second, you score them both. That'll work right there, too. Hit it far enough to right center field where they both can move up.
Exactly what you want to do. And sometimes, especially on a ball hit deep to the opposite field or center field, that outfielder can get lazy.
Yeah.
If that runner at second base can run, that outfielder can sometimes, or that runner at second base can sometimes score.
Well, here's Elvis now. The infield pulled all the way in with the tie ball game. First pitched him a pitch out, and Bob Melvin trying to sniff out maybe a suicide squeeze attempt.
Wouldn't be the first one Wash is called, and
yeah.
Elvis had a squeeze attempt the other day and missed the bunt.
Elvis this year, a devil of a time as far as runners in scoring position, hitting just 180. An out will get the run home if he hit it to the outfield. The pitch inside, it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Then the same approach he had last time. Go to right field, hit a fly ball to right field. Hit it deep enough, though. Reddick's got a pretty good arm.
38% of the time. That's a pretty telling statistic. Because Elvis is not the only one that's down there in the 30% success rate. 2-0 pitch from Malone. Fastball catches the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Elvis tonight, the fly ball that Tom was talking about last time up. And he grounded to short back in the first inning. Now on a smart team, the runner at third, playing right up next to the bag is Josh Donaldson, the third baseman. That's low and away, 3-1 the count. So Elvis eyeing some close pitches. He's got the advantage in the count. He is trying to get aboard in front of Nelly Cruz.
Elvis is just being very patient. This is a great at bat for him. Not trying to do too much. He's letting Malone come to him, waiting for one pitch.
Malone sets, and the 3-1. Inside, ball 4. Well, Andrus draws the walk with Cruz coming up. He and Kinsler saying, yeah, that's what we need. Now let's run with the depth. Kurt Young going out to the mound. You want to stay aggressive here, Mac, as far as having Elvis at first, let him go ahead and try and swipe second to get the scoring pitch?
I've got to let Nelly swing right here.
Okay.
Nelly's got the hot bat. I know Malone's, probably thinking that Elvis is going to run. We've got the tying run at third. We've got 3, 4, 5 coming up. I've got to let my 3 guys swing the bat.
Ford leaderboard tonight shows you the home runs in the American League. Boy, Chris Davis just in fuego. And Nelly Cruz is sitting down there in 4th spot, tied with Adam Dunn. Cabrera and Encarnacion with 19. Chris Davis hit 2 today for the Birds against Detroit. Well, here's Nelly. Cruz 1 for 2. Singled solidly to right field his last time up. Oh, he had a pitch to work with. Got away from him a little bit. Fouled it straight back.
They hit a changeup the other night for a home run to dead center, and this was a high changeup that almost ended up in the same spot.
Nelly out to have a couple of words with himself. 0-1 the count. Malone in hot water. Rangers tied it up 3-3, looking to untie it. And it's 0-2 to Cruz. Nelly, the team leader with those 18 home runs and the 48 RBI. Dan Otero is out in the bullpen for the A's. 0-2. Got a pitch out. Norris stood up, but didn't go outside for it. I think it was a
semi-pitch out.
Instead of a pitch out, it was a pitch up. I don't know.
Nelly might swing it.
Yeah. Watch, he's up there already trying to get that pitch up out of the strike zone. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's pretty much a useless pitch right there. That doesn't even tempt the hitter to swing at it.
1-2. Just missed the inside corner. Boy, he stayed away for the first 3 pitches and then tried to hit that corner. Almost got it. He was able to take it. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. See the pitch trackers. That tough one to handle. The 2-2. Outside and high. The count has gone full. Oh, with 1 out, I would imagine you'd see Elvis on the move on this pitch. Cruz trying to continue the progression here in the inning. He'll be followed by Adrian Beltre. Crowd really getting into it now. Want that Ranger offense to come back to life again. Time called.
All right, fellas, this is a good spot for me to get in the booth. I'm in there.
Okay.
I'm feeling it. He's going to lay one out right over the middle of the plate.
All right. I'm putting the hex on it.
Malone with the payoff pitch. Rolled slowly to third. The only play they have is to the plate. The throw not in time. Leonis Martin beat the tag. The throw was to the inside. And by the time Norris made the catch and swiped back, Leonis had slid around the block. The Rangers lead it 4-3.
That would have been a good play if someone else was on third base. Martin was flying down the line. Great slide and snuck right in there. Luckily the ball, you're right, Buzz, luckily the ball's on the first base side. Allowed him to sneak in there. Couldn't turn two because Elvis was running.
Looked like just a little tiny bit of indecision on Donaldson's face before he made the throw home.
Right. If Donaldson had known, he probably should have known that Elvis was running. If he had known Elvis was running, he comes up and he's coming to the plate right away.
Right.
He probably gets Martin at the plate.
Well, Cruz on with a fielder's choice and an RBI. And here is Beltrade. He takes a changeup for strike one.
Nice.
Leonis making the slide and the call, all in one motion. Well, the Rangers answered the 3 spot in the top of the 5th with 2 of their own to regain the lead. And Beltrade trying to extend the lead. Ripping a foul ball. It is 0-2. Adrian, a single and a run scored. That was back in the 2nd inning. Last time up, he lined hard to right field. Elvis Andrus, the runner, at second base. Nelson Cruz at first. Hayes infield, pulled slightly around to the left side. The 0-2 pitch. Line down the left field line. It's hooking, and that'll go back foul territory. And Beltrade will come back and try it again on 0-2. This season, 243 with runners in scoring position, but look at what he's done since he started swinging the bat effectively. 385. He's got Elvis out there at second base and Nelly over at first. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Malone back to the plate. 1-2. Veteran hitter Adrian Beltrade up there. Rangers couldn't diagram it any better when they need somebody at the plate in this kind of a situation. Now the 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Malone squeezing that one off way high and wide. Rangers a couple of hits in the inning, and you see the pitch count for Malone already at 32 in this frame, and he still just has 1 out. The 2-2 pitch will be next to Beltrade. Instead, it's a little inside move, but Sogard was not breaking until late. Elvis back easily. Josh Frazier has continued during this inning to throw in the bullpen. That may be an indication that he's coming in when we go to the 6th. We just have to wait and see. Now a quicker throw to second. Just back under the tag. Elvis Andrus. That was a well-timed play between Sogard and Tommy Malone.
Let him swing, he's yelling. He gets picked off right there. He's going to have to answer to Adrian when they both get out to their position after this inning.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be on the Elvis side of that conversation if that happened. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Popped up down the right side. Reddick in and toward the line, makes the catch. And everybody will have to hold on the shallow fly to right. That is out number 2, and it will bring up Lance Berkman. And before Berkman comes up, let's take another timeout for a Mazda game break. Here's Dana Larson. Thank you, Dana. Berkman having a little face-to-face with Doug Eddings. A wry smile on Lance's face. 1 for 2 tonight. That 2-run home run in the second inning. Got the Rangers off on the right foot last time up. He was robbed on a nice running catch by the left fielder Seth Smith. The first pitch is cued foul toward the Ranger dugout on the first base side. It's 0-1. See, Lance, it's been every phase of batting for him that's gone south. Runners in scoring position, runners on base, nobody on base. It's just been a real tough time for Lance Berkman. Rip and a miss. It's 0-2.
You know, usually for a switch hitter, one side or the other is working. It's rarely that both sides are working or not working. When both sides are not working, that's when things are bad.
Check swing and the pitch just off the plate. It's a ball and 2 strikes. So there's not much you can do then, is there?
No, that's a bad day. That's a bad feeling.
That's kind of what Lance said the other day. He said normally, you know, the left side is okay. I go up and down with the right side, but he said the left side now has left me. And he said I'm just kind of lost with it. The 1-2 pitch. And 2-2.
Boy, he's tempting him with it. All changeups.
Bob Bellman kind of a stern look to home plate. Boy.
And Buzz, you were asking earlier, you know, you give up one side of the plate and say, okay, he can't throw this ball inside, so I'm just going to look away. With Malone, yeah, that's the approach that I would take. I'm going to look away, and he's not going to throw that ball inside past me.
Popped up on the infield. Coming in is Lowry, the shortstop, puts it away. And that'll do it, but the Rangers get a couple to regain the lead. We'll go to the 6th inning. Now the Rangers 4 and the A's 3. Matt, thanks for joining us. We'll see you after the game on Rangers Live. All right.
L. Alito, Associate Justice of Supreme Court of the United States. And Justice Alito, I know you came out to the ballpark because you love baseball. You got a speech tomorrow in Dallas. And you just love baseball so much you just wanted to check out the Rangers, huh?
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm really enjoying it. This is a great ballpark and a good game.
Now, you talk about ballparks. You, I'm sure, with a big baseball fan you are, tour a lot of ballparks. What is your thought? Where does this one stack up above the others?
This is clearly one of the best that I've seen. It's got a lot of character. It's got all the modern conveniences, but it also has the flavor of an old ballpark, so I really like it.
Yeah, you got to throw out the first pitch. What was that like?
It was very nerve-wracking. a lot tougher than what I normally do.
But you didn't bounce it. You got to ride over about 90 miles an hour?
I didn't bounce it. Oh, it was at least 90, yeah.
You're getting some tips from Nolan. All right, Justice Alito, a pleasure to meet you. Enjoy the rest of the game. Thank you, Buzz.
All right, Jim,
there you go, Buzz. What you did for a living is tougher than being a Supreme Court judge.
Yeah,
he just said it.
Well, I'm not going to differ with the honorable judge, but I don't think so. Qualifications are a little bit different too, I think. Jason Frazier out of the bullpen, so Justin Grimm finished after 5 innings of work. Numbers for Jason Frazier, who has thrown the ball very, very well for the last several weeks. Pitched just outside to Yoenis Cespedes. It's 2 balls and a strike. Frazier, the 35-year-old veteran right-hander. Back to the plate. A rip and a foul ball. Jason's last outing, first time he'd given up runs in 5 outings. Gave up a couple to Toronto here back on the 15th. 3 hits and 2 runs, 1 earned run in 2/3 of an inning. Boy, you go back to the middle of May and he has put some outstanding efforts together. The 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Up the ladder at 92 miles an hour. Cespedes gone.
Second time they've gotten Cespedes to do that very same thing. Justin got him for the last out of the first inning on a high fastball.
Our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors. Rangers bullpen, 61 and 2/3 innings in the month of June. That's the second most in the major leagues.
And that's not necessarily a good thing.
No, it is not. Neil Cott's in the background warming up. That means your starters haven't. Well, plus the 18-inning game, but that's only an extra 9 or 10 innings.
Yeah.
Brandon Moss tonight is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground ball to first. Frazier got out ahead of that a little bit and left it high. It's 1-1. Frazier, a Chicago native, spent the vast majority of his major league career with the Toronto Blue Jays. Really a mainstay with the Jays for a lot of years. This is low and inside. The count moves to 2-1. Frazier okays the sign. The right-hander's set. 3 balls and a strike. Now Moss, the number 4 hitter, trying to get aboard with 1 out. He will be followed by Josh Donaldson. Frazier ready. The 3-1. Outside, ball 4. A big walk right there, and Moss down to first. He's on with 1 out. Donaldson coming to the plate. And while he makes his way up there, let's go back down to the field. Allie Lucia is standing by. Allie?
Thank you, Buzz. The bullpen has been carrying a big load as of late as the starters are still looking to find a win in the month of June. And I asked Jason Frazier about that, and he said, it's all about their mindset, especially when you can call on guys like Tanner and Neil
I sleep at night as if I go right at them. If I'm tentative, bad things happen. Probably Ross, Tanner, and Neil, and Joe. Go right at those guys. And I think the only way you live with yourself is if you do that. And they've been doing that all year, and they've had tremendous success.
And Buzz, the bullpen has been responsible for the team's last 5 wins.
Thanks, Allie. Yeah, it has been an odd month, to say the least, for Ranger pitching. Jason Frazier telling you, you've got to get back to the basics, and part of the basics is going right after people. You never get beat on the, you don't want to get beaten on the base on balls or your third best pitch or something along that order. 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now, after Donaldson, you've got Smith and Reddick, 2 left-hand hitters. Kotz is warmed up in the bullpen. That may be a spot where Wash decides to bring him in.
Moss, the runner at first, aboard after the 1-out walk, or via the 1-out walk. Frazier sets and misses low and away. It's 2-1. Frazier, a handful of at-bats with Josh Donaldson. Donaldson 1 for 3 against Jason. Neil Kotz ready in the Ranger bullpen. 1 on and 1 out. And he popped him up. Shallow right field. Nelly Cruz coming in. Makes the grab. That is out number 2. Back to first goes Moss, and we'll see if that's going to do it with the left-handers coming up. Ron Washington on his way out to the mound. And with Smith and Reddick coming up, and then Sogard 1 batter after that. Ron Washington wants the left-hander Neil Kotz to come on in. Well, the call has been made to the pen, and Frazier will leave after retiring 2 of the 3 hitters he faced. Man on first, his responsibility. And with the pitching change here at Rangers Ballpark, we'll take a timeout. Be right back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. As your Rangers battle the Cardinals in St. Louis. Baseball Night in America begins Saturday at 6 p.m. Central. And the left-hander Neil Kotz on now with Brandon Moss at first base. 2 outs. Seth Smith will be the hitter.
Well, pretty gaudy numbers for Neal. Hasn't been here that long. He's already pitched in 13 games. Already has a 3-1 record. ERA right down there where Robbie Ross's is.
Kotz in Monday night's game pitched 2 1/3 innings. Perfect baseball. Had a strikeout and really calmed things down. He came in to relieve Nick Tepesch. Got the win in that ball game and misses outside. 4-1. Faced Smith one time, and Seth Smith lined out to center field against Kotz. Smith tonight 0 for 2. Fly ball to center. Line drive to Beltre at third. And there's a looper to left field. That's going to settle in for a base hit. So Smith, who really shows the ability to go to left field, especially against left-handers. That's a 2-out single. And they're now 2 on with 2 out. And Josh Reddick coming up.
Well, it's kind of like the hit that he had last night. Last night he hit a ball off the end of the bat. Broke the bat. The bat went flying toward Yu Darvish. The ball went right down the line. Hit softly like that for a double. Key part of the game.
Hard breaking ball is away to Josh Reddick. Reddick 0 for 1 tonight. He has walked, scored a run. He's also popped out to short. Moss the runner at second. Smith at first. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Pop foul. That will reach the seats on the third base side. And it evens the count at 1-1. Rangers leading 4-3. Neal Kotz charged with keeping that score right there. Got a couple of runners aboard. Brandon Moss walked. Smith singled him to second. Jason Frazier began the inning. And Neal Kotz now on to try and finish it off. Foul ball, and Kotz the advantage at a ball and 2 strikes. Reddick 0 for 4 lifetime against Neal Kotz. The left-hander sets the 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Big strikeout for Neal Kotz. Gives up the base hit to Smith and the strikeout of Reddick, and that'll do it for the A's in the 6th. They strand a pair. Rangers coming up, leading 4-3. Sonic Slam Inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $1,500 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for Holly Brewer from Mansfield. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam during the inning, Holly Brewer of Mansfield will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. A.J. Przinsky to start things off. And Robinson Chirinos and David Murphy to face Tommy Malone. Ranger bullpen coming on to take over in the 5th inning and got the job done. The combination of Jason Frazier and Neil Kotz getting out of the inning unscathed. And the first pitch is outside to Przinsky. A.J. twice tonight has flied to center field. Rangers 4 runs on 6 hits against Tommy Malone. Another foul that bounces back to the screen, and it evens the count at 1-1. A.J. having a real solid homestanding, .333. 4-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. Check swing on the pitch, up and away. 2-1. Remember, A.J. spent a couple of weeks on the disabled list, that oblique strain. After he got back off the DL, he really caught fire. He's hitting .349 in the 24 games since he came back from his disabled list stint. 2-2 the count to him. And he pops one into shallow left field. Seth Smith coming on. Makes the grab. That is out number 1. And it'll be Robinson Chirinos' turn next. Well, A.J. makes the right turn at first base. He has flied out 3 times tonight. Chirinos coming to the plate. Has flied to center and popped to second. Malone with 92 pitches thus far, 60 strikes, 32 balls. First pitch, and that's low and inside for ball 1. Chirinos originally signed by the Chicago Cubs organization back in 2000. Never did get to the major leagues with the Cubs. Not as high as AAA, and then 2011 went over to Tampa Bay. 1-1 pitch. 2-1 now. He was part of that deal that sent Matt Garza from the Rays up to Chicago. Fouled away. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rangers got Chirinos this spring as he was designated for assignment by the Rays. Rangers worked out a deal for a player to be named later and added him to their AAA roster. First time up, when Przinsky was on the disabled list, he had 3 starts behind the plate. 2-2 pitch, grounded foul, and we'll try it again.
No one warming up down in the Ranger bullpen, Buzz, so it would appear that Neil Kotz will be going back out there, try to get the 7th inning taken care of.
Chirinos loops one to right center. That's going to settle in for a base hit. Well, Robinson Chirinos now a 4-game hitting streak at the major league level. He has hit safely in all 4 games in which he has appeared for the Rangers this year.
I know how happy he was when he got the call up the first time. I'm sure he feels the same way this time. Saw a bunch of pitches that time and lofted one softly in the right center field. Trying to get another Ranger rally going. They have a 1-run lead. Love to make it a little bit more here toward the end of the game. I would think Sheppers would be ready to pitch the 8th and Nathan the 9th, but it stays the way it is right now.
Here's David Murphy, who is 1 for 2. 1 ball, no strikes. Murph dumped a single into center field as he led off the Ranger 5th inning. That was the inning the Rangers started trailing 3-2 and eventually took a 4-3 lead against Tommy Malone. Chirinos at first with 1 out. The 1-0 pitch. Line to left center. That's in for a base hit. Good swing by David Murphy there. Smith came up trying to throw behind Chirinos, but Robinson not rounding the bag all that far. So back-to-back singles, 2 aboard with 1 out, and Leonis Martin coming to the plate.
A hard hit ball for David. I was hoping that would get in the gap and score a run. Bob Melvin looks like he's ready to make a move right here. And good at bat for David. Got the fastball outside half of the plate, but not out there where they like to get it. David got the good part of the bat on that one.
So Tommy Malone finished for the night. He will leave with 2 runners on as his responsibility. And we will take a timeout during this pitching change. Right back on Fox Sports Southwest. Four to 3, Rangers leading. Leonis Martin coming up in our Coors Light pre-scan tonight. Ground ball slowly hit. Here comes Leonis Martin from third. And the slide around the tag by Derek Norris. A huge run for the Rangers. That put them on top 4-3. Now back to live action. Here's Dan Otero working to Leonis Martin, who fouls off the first pitch.
Otero was with the Yankees in spring training. They tried to outright him at the end of spring training. The A's claimed him, and then they outrighted him. No one claimed him. He accepted the assignment. He went to AAA and was terrific at AAA. Had a bunch of saves, not many hits. And so they purchased his contract recently. He's been pitching well for the A's too.
A herky-jerky motion. He misses low and outside. A pretty good single. 1-1 the count to Leonis Martin, who is 1 for 2. Saw him score that run. That was after a single in the 5th inning, a stolen base, and then he scampered home on that fielder's choice ground ball. Up the middle, by the dive of the shortstop Lowry. Chirinos being waved around. He will score without a throw. Leonis Martin drives home Chirinos. The Rangers lead 5-3.
Well, Leonis is getting a chance to play more and more, and he's taking advantage of it. He's swinging the bat pretty well. He's gradually sneaking up on the 280 mark. We've seen his speed on the bases in that play you described, Buzz, when he stole second, scored on the ground ball to third base. Speed and evidence there. And now another nice base hit when you need it. Man in scoring position, gives the Rangers a 2-run lead. Hopefully they're not done.
Martin now with a dozen RBI this year. He's starting to pick up, and virtually every phase of the game. Murphy stopped at second, Martin at first, still just one out. Ian Kinsler up there for his third at bat. He is 1 for 2 officially with a sacrifice fly. Takes a breaking ball to the outside corner for strike one. Kinsler, a fly ball to center in the first, single to left in the third. Then have the sacrifice fly that tied the ball game in the 5th inning. Takes another strike at the bottom of the zone. Ian not particularly thrilled with the call by Doug Eddings, but doesn't say a whole lot. Otero ready. And just missed the outside corner. Ian still wearing that bandage after that collision he had at home plate last night. Really opened up a gash in his chin. Had to get 3 stitches there to close it up. Foul ball. And the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. When we were talking to him today, Tom, I got a kick out of it. He said, how's it feeling? He said, well, I got my bell rung pretty good last night.
Yeah, he did.
Murphy, the runner at second. Leonis Martin at first. He had 3 consecutive singles with 1 out here in the 6th. Swinging a foul tip straight down. We'll try it again with Kinsler up there at 1 and 2. Rangers now 5 runs on 9 hits tonight. Otero sets. Another chopper foul. Well, you get an idea from our center field camera shot, a kind of sinkage that Otero has on that fastball. He kind of slings it up there, and that ball at the bottom really drops out of that pitch. Sure does. Murph getting the lead from second. Rangers 1 for 5 tonight in these situations. And another chopper foul.
Well, the lineup that Wash chose today is working pretty well. Chirino's getting a start at first. Had the single that started this rally. Martin getting a start against a left-hand pitcher who's had a couple of hits, a stolen base, knocked in a run, scored at least 1.
Kinsler, a base hit to center field. Murphy being waved around third. There will be no throw. Murph scores standing up. The Rangers lead 6-3. Ian Kinsler comes through.
Well, we talked in the pregame show about how important it was to get Ian back in the lineup for a lot of reasons. One is the energy he brings, and obviously the other is his bat. He had an RBI in the 5th on a sacrifice fly. Second hit that he's got. And a nice short swing, compact, powerful swing that he's got. Rangers open up a 3-run lead with that base hit. Those base hits with men in scoring position this inning.
Dave Anderson talking to Ian as Kurt Young, the pitching coach for the A's, came out to have a brief visit on the mound. So the Rangers with 4 straight 1-out singles have plated a couple of runs, and they're looking now to Elvis Andrus to keep it going. Elvis walked his last time up. He is grounded out and flied out, 0 for 2 officially tonight. Got Martin at second, Kinsler at first. Otero to the plate. Knee-high strike. 0-1. Ian saying, are we supposed to go now? See if they gets a jump. Try to double steal it. Up the middle. Oh, a great stop by Sogard. He'll throw to first and just get Andrus. What a play by Sogard.
The balls have been finding holes for both teams, but Elvis hit the ball hard. Looked like another RBI single. And instead, a beautiful play by Sogard. Sogard's playing some pretty nice baseball right now. Looks good defensively. He's hit over 300 in the last 20 games. Takes a base hit and an RBI away from Elvis, that's for sure.
Yeah, playing fairly close to the bag, and if he's not there to start off with, that is another run-producing single. Here's Nelly Cruz, and he takes a rip and fouls it away.
Well, he was really shading towards second with Elvis, who hits, you know, against a sinker ball pitcher. He's liable to hit the ground ball the other way, but
ground ball up the middle. Diving stop this time by Lowry. He throws, not in time.
Not this time.
Nelly beats it out. Another RBI single. The Rangers lead 7-3.
Well, at least Elvis's ball moved the runners along to where a guy could score on an infield hit. Another base hit with a man in scoring position. Second straight at bat with an RBI for Nelly.
And Nelly Cruz now with an even 50 RBI this year. This in Rangers game number 72. Well, now runners at first and third with 2 outs. Adrian Beltre. He takes strike one. Beltre 1 for 3 tonight. The Rangers 5 singles in this inning. I'm going to call it 5.5 because Elvis should add at least a half base hit.
Yeah, at least he moved the runners.
Yep.
To get in position to score.
Beltre singled and scored in the second. Since then is lined to right field and flied to right field. At Kinsler at third, Cruz at first. The 0-2 pitch. We will try it again. Adrian currently hitting .304 as he faces Otero here in the 6th inning. Right-hander to the plate. It's a ball and 2 strikes. The Malone started with the first 5 1/3. And he is going to be charged with 6 runs in this ball game. A broken bat looping line drive into the far end of the A's dugout. And here's the single. Watch.
That's some intensity, Buzz.
Yep.
Didn't stop chewing those sunflower seeds either, boy.
As a matter of fact, he speeded up. His tempo got a little bit.
You got to slow the game down a little bit.
Slow the seeds down. And it's now 2-2 to Beltre. Bob Melvin watched his club last night bounce back from a defeat. Rangers trying to bounce back from a defeat last night themselves. That'll be out of play, or to take a look. Brandon Moss, but it's out 5 or 6 rows deep. And the count remains 2-2. The Rangers, for the second time in this series now, have gotten 11 base hits. You remember coming into the series, they had not had more than 10 hits in 16 straight games. Foul tip. And that got a pretty good chunk of the inside of the leg of Derek Norris. And the A's trainer now going to have to come out and tend to Derek Norris, who's feeling a little bit under the weather right at the moment. Bob Melvin, a former catcher himself, knows exactly what Derek Norris is going through. Well, folks, Tuesday giveaways continue on July 2nd. Rangers fedora hat, that's courtesy of Gloops, will be the giveaway. The first 30,000 fans will get this one-of-a-kind fedora hat when the Rangers play the Mariners. And as always, tickets are available at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS. Norris all the time he needs. And now Bob Melvin signaling to the dugout, maybe John Jaso better get the gear on.
We can see the sweat pouring off his head.
Yep. There's Jaso, and he's all decked out. I don't think there's much doubt that Norris is going to have to come out of this ball game.
It doesn't matter whether poor guy can get up right now.
Yeah. Well, Bob Melvin's going to try to help him up, but Derek Price said, no, not quite yet. Jaso, in the meantime, loosening up a bit, and Derek just now able to get up on his feet. You know, being helped off, and toughest position on the field to play. And not just because of that kind of an injury, but it's just the most demanding position there is. Well, Jaso out to have a word with Dan Otero. Jaso will take over behind home plate. Jaso, as we mentioned, started the first two games of this series. He's going to have most of the night off tonight, but pressed into service here. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Adrian Beltre. Ian Kinsler at third. Nelson Cruz at first with 2 outs. 3 runs across here in the Rangers' 6th inning. They have opened up a 7-3 lead. Line drive, base hit to left field. Kinsler trots down the line over to cut it off Smith. Cruz will move into third. Into second base is Adrian Beltre. An RBI double. The Rangers lead 8-3.
Yeah, Adrian just needed about a 5-minute break. First pitch he saw, he just ripped it down the line. Good inning for the Rangers. Just hit after hit, right when you want them. Men in scoring position like that. Move those runners.
And Bob Melvin out there takes the ball from Otero. But not before Beltre able to lash that ball into the corner. You get a sinker ball like that when he gets the ball up just a little bit. Hitter's able to get underneath it enough to lift it into the outfield, and that's exactly what Ron Washington likes to see. So, yeah, you guys keep on running. That'd be great. Ian Kinsler gets the high five. And another pitching change here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Another timeout coming. 8-3 the score. We'll be back right after this. Fox Sports Southwest. Well, the Rangers doing some damage here in the 6th inning. They've opened up an 8-3 lead. Bob Melvin has gone to the bullpen for the second time in this inning, and Jesse Chavez, the right-hander, has come out now to take over. Carroll replaced Malone, only got 1 out, gave up 4 hits. And now Chavez on to see if he can get the final out of the inning. He faces Lance Berkman, who turns around to hit from the left side for the first time tonight. Berkman is the 9th hitter to come to the plate here in the Ranger 6th inning. Lance 1 for 3. That 2-run home run got the Rangers going in the 2nd inning. Outside corner.
Whoa.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's the same reaction that Lance had. Here's Mitch Moreland talking to Ian Kinsler. Mitch had a great day today. Went 3 for 5 with his first home run as he finished up his rehab assignment.
He had a few hits last night, didn't he?
Yeah. Check swing as Chavez missed inside. It's 2-1. Yeah, Mitch ended up 5 for 9. Is that what
Well, that's when you want to get him back here. Don't waste any more down there.
Yeah, he hit a home run today, and that
back
3
there
for 5, a home run, a double, and 2 RBI.
Playing for his old manager, Steve Buechele.
Called strike. It's now 2-2. 6 for 9 is what Mitch did in the 3 games that he played. Last 2 were in the field. He played first base. First game he DH'd. 2-2 to Berkman. Chopper slowly hit down the first baseline, right at the bag, and Moss takes his steps on first, and that'll do it. But the Rangers score 4 times, and they get 6 hits. They strand 2. We're going to the 7th inning. It's now the Rangers 8, the A's 3 on Fox Sports Southwest. Now tonight's game summary presented by Ford. Been a lot of Rangers, and especially in the middle innings, but Lance Berkman got the Rangers going with that 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. Since then, the Rangers 7, 8, and 9 hitters have 5 hits and 5 runs scored. That would be Messrs. Chirinos, Murphy, and Martin. They have gotten it done. Neil Kotz, who came on to close out the 6th inning, and what was at that time a 4-3 Ranger lead. We'll start the 7th. John Jaso taking over behind the plate as Derek Norris forced to leave. Takes a strike. Jaso at 281, a couple of home runs, 19 driven in. Goes to left center field, not hit very deep. Jonas Martin almost in straightaway left as the Ranger outfield was aligned that way. Makes the grab. That's out number 1. Our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery, and we're talking about the 7, 8, 9 guys. Chirinos, Kinsler, Cruz, and Beltre will get it. Finished off that 4-run uprising for Ron Washington. 3 fast deliveries by 6 of them that inning. A 1 out. Eric Sogard, the hitter, and Sogard 1 for 1 tonight. A single and also a walk. He has scored a run. Kotz back to him. Fires a strike right down the middle. 1-1 the count. Kotz back to the plate. 2-1 to Sogard. The Rangers, second time in this series now, they've been able to put 8 up on the board. 4 times the production that they had been doing in a game during that tough streak. They're averaging 2 runs a game or scoring 2 runs a game or less for 6 straight games. And they're breaking out. Last night, a little bit of a regression, but that's going to happen. Tonight, right back at it. 8 runs on 12 hits. 2-2 to Sogard. A little bit high, and the count has gone full. Sogard, the number 9 man, will be followed by the top of the order, and that's Chris Young. Kotz sets the payoff pitch. We'll try it again. Yeah, now these two teams will finish it up tomorrow afternoon. It's a 1 o'clock game. Josh Lindblom and A.J. Griffin will be the principals. Kotz again with a 3-2. Low ball 4. Sogard draws the 1-out walk. He is aboard. And now Chris Young coming up.
That's one that Neil won't be happy with. He's dominated left-hand hitters this year.
Young having a big breakout night for himself. Came in really struggling, hitting a .143 for the last few weeks of play. He has singled and had a 3-run home run tonight. Takes a belt-high fastball. It's 0-1. Young grounded out to short in the first inning, then singled to left in the third. Came up with 2 on and 2 out in the 5th inning and homered to dead center. Rip and a miss against Kotz. And it's 0-2. Left-handers ready. A check of Sogard at first. And a ground ball pulled foul. Kotz coming inside with that fastball, and Young turning on it, but pulled it off the screen in front of the A's dugout. Oakland 3 runs on 4 hits. And they've had 4 walks to work with. 3 of them by Justin Grimm, the starter, and 1 by Jason Frazier. One and 2 now. A's, of course, leading everybody in team walks from an offensive standpoint. Also up among the leaders in hit by pitches. The 1-2. He went around, couldn't stop that swing. And Kotz gets his second strikeout.
That's what that hard slider down and in will do to you. Young had been swinging the bat well tonight, but that pitch just overmatched him. Nice follow through. I don't think Chris is going to want to watch the replay of that one.
Oh, darn. So 2 gone. Here's Jed Lowry. Lowry turning around to bat from the right side, and he takes a strike from Kotz. Lowry tonight has grounded to third, flied to center, and flied to left. Batting average for Lowry now down to .290. Sogard, the runner at first, a modest lead. 1-1 as Kotz misses upstairs. Lowry, one of the A's that really has been struggling of late. Last 11 ball games. Fouls that one out of play. Lowry in that time, just 163 his average. 7 for 43. That comes right on the heels of a period of 2 weeks where he hit 412. So it's either been the penthouse or the basement for the A's shortstop. Down in the count here, a ball and 2 strikes, and Kotz ready to work. Popped up. Shallow right field. Kinsler going out. Ian making the call. Stops, puts it away, and that will do it. Well, the walk, no problem. The A's strand their 5th runner. Stretch time at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Texas 8, Oakland 3, Fox Sports Southwest. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by the all-new Mazda 6. When you change everything, you change everything. Jesse Chavez back to the hill. He came on to get the final out of the 6th inning, but not before the Rangers had put 4 on the board and have taken a 8-3 lead. A.J. Przinsky, who began the 6th by flying to left field, takes a strike on the backdoor breaking ball. Chavez back to him, and Przinsky chops one foul. Move over toward the Ranger dugout. No balls, 2 strikes. A.J. 3 flyouts tonight against Oakland pitching. Chavez with the 0-2. Right-hander back to Przinsky hitting.
He's got that pad. You can hear it when it hits that pad all the way up here.
It'd be the same sound, I think, if you threw one and hit the padding on the wall.
That's about the same padding that is on the wall almost. They're going to check just in case it didn't get all the pad. It might have hit part of the arm.
Yeah, Jamie Reed out there.
Did.
Yeah.
You can have all the padding in the world, but number one, it can still hit the padding and hurt. Or number 2, it can hit just above that padding on top of your elbow there. And then the padding doesn't do much good at all.
Jamie Reed out to look at him, and Ron Washington right there. AJ, a bit of a grimace that didn't feel too good. Trainer says, here, does this hurt over here? And that's when you reach over and slap him. So, yeah, it hurts. Get your hand off there.
Speaking of catchers, we'll hope that that Derek Norris is okay.
Yeah.
He had to come out of the game. You always feel for a catcher, boy. It's a tough position. You said it. It's a tough position to play. Toughest position on the field. And you can't catch if you can't play with bumps and bruises, but sometimes it's a lot more than bumps and bruises, and hopefully Derek is okay.
So the leadoff man, Przinski, aboard, the hit by pitch, and now Robinson Chirinos, who is 1 for 3, steps in. A little late rip and a miss, and Chirinos down in the count 0-1. Robinson singled his last time up. He was the first Ranger to get on base in that 6th inning. He started a string of 4 straight base hits. Rangers ended up getting 6 singles in the inning and scored 4 times. But here he is down in the count 0-2. Robinson from Venezuela just turned 29 earlier this month. Breaking ball hangs up for him, but he hits a high, lazy fly ball to center field. Chris Young puts it away. That's out number 1. David Murphy coming up. And it's time for a Mazda game break. Once again, here's Dana Larson. All right, Dana, thank you. The Rangers will be there. There's a shot fair down the left field line for David Murphy. Brzezinski going to third as Murphy pulls into second with an opposite field double. And Murphy now 3 for his last 3 and going the other way effectively.
Well, that's what David has to do, because they are going to pitch him away virtually every at bat. And so when David waits on the ball a little bit instead of jumping out at it, he can slice the ball like that all day long. We've seen him do it. And that's a nice sign. Last 3 innings, he's had a base hit in all 3 innings. Scored a couple of runs. That's great to see. Hopefully David's getting hot. That'll mean a lot to the offense.
So second and third now. The infield on the left side all the way in. The right side back about halfway. Rangers leading 8-3, threatening to do more damage.
Murphy's had a hit in each of the last 3 innings. Martin has had a hit in the last 2 innings. He's trying to do the same thing.
Takes the pitch inside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Now Leona's 2 for 3 tonight. 2 runs scored, a stolen base, an RBI. Other than that, he's been fairly quiet.
Hadn't thrown anybody out tonight.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. 2-0 pitch. 3-0. Now Leonis pulled a base hit to right field in the 5th inning, and then he hit a sharp ground ball up the middle for the RBI in the 6th. 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. He is on for the 3rd straight time. That fills the bases with 1 out for Ian Kinsler. Kurt Young coming out, and while we have a moment here, let's go down and again and say hello to Allie Lucia. Allie?
Thank you, Buzz. The bats are hot tonight, and I asked David Murphy if he felt like they've been pressing at all lately. He said, no, our confidence is there.
We just need to, I think, build some offensive consistency. Obviously, everybody would like to see that. We know it's going to happen. We have the talent in this room to do it. And, just get back to playing some consistent baseball.
Murphy said we've had some injuries lately. Now got some guys back in the lineup, and things seem to be clicking, Buzz.
All right, Allie, yeah, they sure are. And here's a spot to put Ian Kinsler in. The bases loaded, 1 out. And the pitch way outside for ball 1. Ian has driven in 2 tonight. He now has 24 RBI for the season. He had a sacrifice fly in the 5th, a single to drive in a run in the 6th. He has scored a run. 2 for 3 officially. Breaking ball, he lays off it. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
He pitched very carefully to Martin with first base open. But now you get kind of a jam right here. Bases loaded, 2-0 count to Ian. Have to throw him a strike right here.
Yep.
Great position to be in for a hitter.
Chavez, a check of the runners. 2-0 and he missed high. It is 3 balls and no strikes. Bob Melvin asking pitching coach Kurt Young for a suggestion. Kurt just walked over to the phone. I don't have anything to tell you that's good. 3 balls, no strikes. Right down the middle, it's 3-1. Well, Ian has gone up the middle the last 2 times. The sacrifice fly was to deep right center. And his base hit was solidly to center field. Now the 3-1 pitch to him. Outside corner. 3-2. A lot of groans from the crowd. Pretty good pitch on 3-1.
That's a strike. Got another big one left. Make him do it 3 straight times.
Now time called. John Jaso, the catcher, standing up behind home plate. He wasn't real happy with what had been put down there. Now Chavez ready. The payoff pitch. Loop down the right side. That will slice back into the crowd. Out of play as Kinsler spoiled a pretty tough pitch from Jesse Chavez. That Nishek submarining right-hander is the one that answered the phone call down there from Kurt Young. Chavez again ready. Hard hit line drive right at the shortstop Lowry.
Oh boy.
Goodness.
We've seen a bunch of line drives caught tonight. Both teams have hit some line drives that have been caught tonight. Owen Hurts with the bases loaded. Elevated a little bit in the left center field. He got a chance for at least 2 RBIs. Get it in the gap, 3.
So now 2 outs. Here comes Elvis Andrus, and Elvis robbed his last time up by the second baseman Sogard.
Good thing, Buzz, that's the 3rd rope that Ian has hit tonight with a nice, short, compact stroke.
Yep.
That's a good sign. Swinging the bat well. Sounds like Mitch is swinging the bat well. Get him back in the lineup, and things start to look a little bit more normal.
Here's the guy you'd like to get going.
All right, what do you guess? And I say 108. It's 97. I thought that was more of a rope than that.
Oh, 0-1 the count to Andrus. Elvis 0 for 3 with a walk. Takes that pitch high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's a guy you'd like to see get going. Elvis Andrus.
Yep.
I'd like to see him get on base a few times. When he and Kinsler are doing that at the top of the order, that's when the Ranger offense is at its best.
Well, the good thing is he's got a track record, and you know he can. He's healthy. It's just a matter of working out the kinks, gaining a little confidence, getting a couple of good games back to back, and just take off from there. You get Ian hot. Elvis is due to get hot. He's had 100 at bats that have been below average for him. Get the guys healthy in the middle of the lineup, and then you start to look like the Ranger offense. Nice to see David Murphy start swinging the bat. Martin swinging the bat pretty well. Pretty good signs.
Chavez okays the sign. The 1-2 pitch is on the way. Breaking ball. It gets by all the way to the backstop. Here comes Brzezinski, and he slides in with the 9th run of the night.
Now there's one that couldn't bounce all the way back to the catcher because it wasn't going fast enough.
Brzezinski scores. It's 9-3 Rangers. We'll take a look at that replay.
I don't know how it'll go, but it should be a pass ball.
Should be. Queso just missed it. They did score a pass ball. Well, that's good.
I thought he had a chance to catch it.
Yep. So 2-2 now, the count to Elvis. Way outside, 3-2. No, Elvis trying to get aboard to extend this 7th inning. Nelly Cruz waiting in the on-deck circle. And Bob Melvin looking for the light at the end of that tunnel. To right center field. Hit pretty well. Going back is Reddick, the right fielder. Stops and makes the catch. And Elvis now has hit the ball hard 3 times tonight. Has nothing to show for it. Ranger, however, put on a run on 1 hit and leave 2. We're going to the 8th. 9-3 Texas.
In from England, big Ranger fan taking in his very first Ranger game here at the ballpark. John, your thoughts?
My thoughts, I've come 4,000 miles for this. I've seen it on the telly. It's not as good. This is faster, bigger, better, just better all round. And live, you get $1 hot dogs.
Yeah, very nice. Well, Nathan Patton will do the honors. He'll hand over the bag. Congratulations. Way to go, Nathan. John, anything else?
Final thoughts, maybe I'm bringing you luck because we're doing well. And as we say in London, lovely jubbly, go Rangers!
There we go. Oh, way to go. Good job, buddy. Appreciate it. Buzz.
No, see, don't spoil it and tell him $1 hot dog night's not every night. Let him think that if he wants to.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
There we go.
Kyle McClellan, the right-hander now, has taken over for the Rangers here in the 8th inning. Well, McClellan takes over for Neil Kotz, who worked an inning and a third. And a strike, knee high to Cespedes. Kotz an inning and a third, 1 hit, 1 walk, and a pair of strikeouts. That ball's hammered to left field. Murphy is going back. He got turned around. It's off the top of the wall. Cespedes cruising into second base with a ringing double to greet Kyle McClellan. And the A's DH snaps an 0 for streak. He was 0 for 12 prior to that double off of McClellan.
I'm sure what Wash's hope is right here is that he doesn't have to use Tanner Scheppers today and doesn't have to use Joe Nathan in the 9th, so they can both be well rested for tomorrow's game. I think he's hoping Kyle can go out there and give him a couple of good solid innings right here. He doesn't have to worry about that. Quick turnaround tomorrow for the day game.
Just the 5th hit of the night for the Oakland A's off Ranger pitching. And Brandon Moss skies to right field, hit pretty well. Going back is Martin into the alley, way in the alley, makes the catch. Tagging at second, moving on to third is Cespedes. Well, Moss gave that a pretty good ride. Didn't think that was going to carry. It was the deepest part of the ballpark, and it was just able to hold that in there to the ballpark.
Fortunately, hit it 406 feet. It's the only part of the ballpark, only place in the ballpark it wouldn't be a home run. Well, 405.
Long way, put it that way. The one away, Cespedes at third, and the off-speed pitch to Donaldson is in for strike one. Josh Donaldson 0 for 2 tonight with a walk, and that walk in his first at bat in the second inning. Since then, he has popped out and flied out. McClellan back to the plate. This is a bit low. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Donaldson's kind of going through his first little slump of the season. He got his average up in the 330s, down right around 300 now. He's struggled in probably his last 10 or 12 games.
Base hit to left field. That will drive home Cespedes. Well, Donaldson with his first hit of the night. It's now a 9-4 Ranger lead. Donaldson drives in his 45th run of the season. Cespedes comes down from third. Seth Smith will be the next hitter. McClellan trying to settle things down here a bit. Smith 1 for 3, singled his last time. Rip and a foul tip. And Robbie Ross, who has pitched each of the last 2 nights up and loosening.
I'm sure that's a guy that Wash would prefer not to use. I mean, he'll use everybody if he needs to, but he'd prefer to sneak through this game and leave those guys out there rested for tomorrow.
Last time out for McClellan 4 nights ago against Toronto, and in an inning he gave up 3 runs, walk and a couple of hits. Line drive to center. Leonard Martin almost overran.
That was a rope, boy.
To go up the ladder to corral that shot off the bat of Smith.
That ball looked like it was taken off.
And Leonard saying, wow, did you see that?
Man. Smith got all of that one. Line shot. Whoops.
No, 2 outs. Josh Reddick is the next hitter. Takes high and tight for ball 1. Reddick walked and scored in the 5th inning. Other than that, he has struck out and popped out. Off speed, that catches the outside corner. It is 1-1. McClellan reading the signs, has the one he wants. Time called, so he'll have to reset, start all over. That ball's hit well to right field. Cruz going back. He has room in front of the warning track and makes the catch. Well, McClellan calms things down after a leadoff double and an RBI single. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Rangers 9, the A's 4 on Fox Sports Southwest.
close out this game strong, a 9-4 lead in the bottom of the 8th. Dana Larson here reminding you we've got Rangers Live presented by Esurance coming up in just a bit. Mark McLemore will join me for his expert analysis. We'll have Ron Washington's post-game comments and players' reaction from the clubhouse, as well as set up the finale tomorrow with the A's and Mitch Moreland's return on Friday. All that and much more coming up on Rangers Live presented by Esurance. But now back to Buzz and Tom, guys.
Thank you, Dana. And we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And a new pitcher on the hill for the A's. It'll be Pat Neshek, the submarining right-hander. Facing Nelly Cruz, the first pitch inside for ball 1. New numbers for Neshek, 28th appearance of the year. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cruz tonight, 2 for 4, and he has driven in a couple, so 50 RBI for the season. Up the middle, make that 3 for 5. And really that inside-out stroke against Neshek, and he has the Rangers' 14th hit of the night.
And hit the right field like that too. He kind of sliced between first and second. Ball's got some spin on it. That's looked like a left-handed slider going on in the outfield. Good night offensively for the Rangers. 14 hits. Haven't been many games like this in a while. Hopefully it's a sign of things to come.
Yeah.
Very well could be.
Adrian Beltre, a couple of hits tonight. He is 2 for 4, a single and a double. Drove in his 39th run of the year with a double in the 6th inning. Cruz a modest lead at first. Neshek deals, and the ball's hit to left center field. Diving in a hurry and sliding is Seth Smith to come up with it. The ball must have been hit off the end of the bat because it got out there and just died. And Smith had to come in and go to the seat of his pants with a sliding catch.
And second time he's gone far towards center field to make a catch on a ball that appeared to hang up a little bit. I don't think Adrian really drove that ball off the sweet spot of the bat. And another nice play by Smith. He's had a lot of action out in left field in this series. Slid into the stands past the left field foul line the other night, trying to make a spectacular catch.
Lance Berkman ripping at the first Neshek offering, and he swung through it. Berkman, the 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. Since then, he has lined to left field, popped out to short, and grounded to first. Neshek back to him. 1 ball and 1 strike. Berkman has faced Neshek a couple of times before. 0 for 2. Hitting here with Cruz at first base, 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-2 now after the foul ball. And we will conclude things tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Josh Lindblom gets the start for the Rangers. And A.J. Griffin, one of their fine young right-handers, will be on the hill for Oakland. Then it's on to St. Louis for 3 games over the weekend. Breaking ball, tried the back door, and it was not open for Neshek. It's 2-2 to Berkman. Friday night, Derek Holland and Tyler Lyons will hook it up. Saturday, it's Nick Tepish and Shelby Miller. Shelby Miller having a pretty doggone good year, 8-4 with a 2.08 ERA for the Cardinals. And then on Sunday, Yu Darvish back to the hill, and Adam Wainwright, a 10-game winner already.
Gem of a pitcher's duel.
It'll be Sunday night at Busch Stadium. Neshek ready. 2-2 the count to Berkman. Now it's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Neshek nods in agreement, comes set. And he will toss one to first just to make sure that Cruz is not wandering off the bag. Right-hander ready once again. The payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. And down on strikes. Lance Berkman. That is out number 2, and A.J. Pierzynski coming up. Neshek gets his first strikeout of the night. A.J. Pierzynski, one more opportunity to extend his hitting streak. He is 0 for 3 this evening with a hit by pitch in the 7th inning. A.J. with that 4-game hitting streak on the line, and he goes after the first pitch in skies to left field. Well, the 4-game hitting streak will come to an end, and the Ranger 8th comes to an end. L.A. Cruz stranded after the leadoff single. We're going to the 9th. The Rangers 9, the A's 4 on Fox Sports Southwest. Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealer. Come join the red, white, and U celebration. Enjoy great savings on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T UVerse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. Rethink possible. And by Progressive. Visit Progressive.com today. Kyle McClellan back to the hill. He worked the 8th inning, gave up a run on a couple of hits. He will try to close out the game here tonight. Rangers leading 9-4. McClellan will face John Jaso to start things off, then Eric Sogard and Chris Young. Jaso up for his second at bat. He replaced the injured Derek Norris in the 6th inning and flied out as he led off the 7th. He takes a strike from McClellan. But Jaso hitting at an even 280. Rip and a foul ball. It is 0-2. McClellan set and the pitch. Tried that big overhand hook, but it stayed high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jaso waiting. McClellan to the plate. Pulled on the ground. Diving stop by Chirinos. On a nice play to McClellan covering. I'll tell you what, Robinson Chirinos is pretty agile over there at first base.
Yeah, it's not just sticking the guy there to make him play first base. He looks like he knows what he's doing out there at first base. We've seen him catch. First time we've seen him play first base. been a good night for him over there.
Excellent job to get that first out here in the 9th inning. Now Eric Sogard, who has been on 3 times tonight. Sogard has walked twice and singled. He has scored 1 run. McCullough deals a strike in there at the knees. Sogard at 269, as you see. No home runs. 9 driven in. He and Adam Rosales comprise the platoon setup for the A's at second base. Rosales, the right-handed hitting portion of that platoon. One pitch. Little nubber foul down the third base side. And the count goes to 1-2. Rangers trying to pull back to within 2 games of the top spot. Oakland splitting their last 10 ball games after being extremely hot ever since the middle of May. Coming into play tonight, the A's 23-8 since May 17th.
Well, you know who's hot? A team the Rangers just got done playing is Toronto.
Yes, they are.
They won their 8th straight tonight.
Yes, they are.
Caught them at the wrong time.
Foul back, and the count remains even at 2-2. And they're just about ready to get Jose Reyes back in the lineup, too.
That's one of the perils of the schedule, the way it falls a lot this year. You play teams in back-to-back series a lot. Right around the All-Star break, the Rangers will go to Baltimore for 4 and come back here right after that, play them like 7 out of whatever, 10 or 12 days.
Skied to shallow center field. Leonis Martin ambling in, waiting for it to come down out of the night sky. And the A's now down to their final out, and Chris Young will be the hitter. AT&T reminding you that tomorrow we'll be right back with you, 1 o'clock on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers and the Athletics will finish up business in this series, and for the Rangers, this homestand. Josh Lindblom at 0-2 with a .594 will take on right-hander A.J. Griffin, who is 5-6 with a .393 ERA. First pitch to Chris Young is pulled well foul. It's an Ian Kinsler shot. It almost makes the third deck down the left side. 0-1 to Young. Young 2 for 4. A 3-run home run in the 5th inning. Short-lived A's lead at that time. Swing and a miss. And McClellan now 1 strike away from closing this ball game out. Crowd of 39,274. Ranger faithful on hand, and the majority of them still here. 0-2 pitch. Looped into shallow center. Kinsler going out. He camps under it, puts it away, and that will do it. Well, the Rangers take 2 of the first 3 from the A's. They climb to within 2 games now of the top spot. Rangers winning their 40th ball game of the year. They are 40-32.